when things were not cooling down, or maybe the housewife had the chicken here, the lettuce here, and here maybe the raw eggs, and then with the chicken over the salads and the eggs, and then you get salmonella, of course, because every chicken has a salmonella. It's always the amount which is counted, okay? So that's why
you're right. Me, I'm not the cooks, but I like to be behind the scene, and I went through behind the chef to see what's going on. In my years of experience, yes, we do using fresh eggs on board, but we do kill the bacteria. Basically, how you kill the bacteria? When you know what we do here? We curdle eggs. Curdle eggs. We are just breaking the eggs in boiling water for 50 to 60 seconds. You kill the bacteria, you have a salmonella free. Not many people know this, okay? The eggs that we're using, okay, to avoid that we having this disease, we break the eggs for 50 seconds in boiling water. This we call curdle eggs. Those are free of salmonella.
Yeah,
correct?
Because you kill the bacteria.
You're right.
This is same with milk, which is vaporized, all this. It's reheated for a few seconds, just very fast, and then cool down. And that's why you can keep the milk outside without things, there's no problem. Okay, but now back to the dessert.
This is the easy dessert that anybody can do it, even our chef, correct?
Even
because
I
we're not
can do
cooking
it.
anything.
That's why I didn't call the pastry chef, because I'm able to do it. So. Okay. Same amount sugar like egg yolk. So how many you put in?
4 scoops of sugar.
Okay, 4 scoops of egg yolk. Now this egg yolk was whisked before very nicely, fluffy, okay? Because otherwise it takes 15 minutes, and I don't think so you want to wait 15 minutes and watching me how I beat the eggs. So just we did it in advance. So that's why it gets fluffy like this. It's very important. Then we mixed very well the sugar and the egg yolk together.
Couple of tips here, very important. Some of you might be familiar already. When the eggs turning from yellow.
Happens also in the galley. It can happen. And we serve only sandwich.
You can hear me up there?
Yeah.
All right. All right. We're still working on it. However, back to our cooking show, even on the dark. Yes, when the eggs turning from yellow to pale, it's about time to add the mascarpone cheese and the whipping cream. Then, and another tip, when the eggs get stuck in the spoon, also is another indication that is about time to incorporate everything together. And the third one, the most important one, and the third one, yes. And the third one, with the outside part of the spoon, you touch the bottom of the pot. If you don't feel the grain of the sugar no more, it's about time to add the mascarpone cheese. Make sure you mix quite fast and quickly, so the sugar will be melted very fast. Home we do it with a blender. Okay, my mother used to do it with fork, but with a blender it's easier to do it. Just say something.
I was already afraid you were to the wall.
Right, no.
If it sticks, it's okay, but that's okay.
Mascarpone cheese. Now we added the mascarpone cheese. 3 spoons. What is a mascarpone cheese? Mascarpone cheese is a cream cheese with citric acid being added. Basically, is a cheese with a little bit of sour taste. Okay, that acid, it will keep the mascarpone fresh and give a little acid taste. Okay, don't look for any version of a mascarpone cheese because you will not find any. Then some whipping cream.
Whipping cream, very important, just fold it in. If you whisk it, then all the fluffy things, all the air inside will be out. So very important, just mix it nicely.
Whipping cream, then somebody added some stiffened eggs. Okay, you can add it as much as you like it. Our chef okay? Let's see.
Okay.
We are folding, we are not blending, because if you are blending fast, you divide the three most important ingredients. We are folding, we incorporate everything together.
Yeah. Now, what I did in advance, if you have invited guests, then I would suggest to use a nice cup or glass which you have at home. Here in this case, a little martini glass, or it can be a champagne glass. It's up to you to show off in your guests. We put a little bit of melted chocolate inside, so we put a little bit of ornaments. You don't see it now. Once the cream is inside, you see the ornaments. Of course, you can use plates like we have it here in a different way. You can write it happy birthday, you can write your name, or happy welcome, or whatever, so that's up to you. I suggest individual, once you are at home, is show off much better. On the ship, of course, we make big trays, we cut it, we make portions like round ones, triangle, rectangle, whatever. Okay? So now,
Okay, today because we present in this very elegant way, we substitute the Savoiardi biscuit, okay, because it's very popular. Tiramisu has to be done with Savoiardi biscuit. We substitute the Savoiardi biscuit with sponge cake, okay? Savoiardi biscuits is very difficult to do. You can already find pre-done. However, the sponge cake is also a good substitute. We cut the sponge cake in the shape of the glass. We're going to dip the sponge cake in coffee and Kahlua liqueur. Coffee and Kahlua liqueur are the most popular liqueur for this dessert. However, in south of Italy, they are doing the tiramisu with marsala wine. If you don't like any liqueur, you can substitute the marsala or the booze with any juice. We think that the coffee and Kahlua liqueur is more indicated for this dessert. Important that you dip the sponge cake heavily, a little bit of, just say something. Say something.
okay, a little first a little bit of love.
Ow!
Yes, love. Okay. First a little bit of the cream inside, and then you the sponge biscuit, you just put it in the coffee with marsala, which you put plenty, so it's going to be a drunken...
Booze make everything looks better.
Okay. Okay, like here, layers per layer, like...
It is important that you soak the sponge cake heavily in the liqueur, because this is the flavor of the entire dessert. Ah, by the way, we forgot to say something. Our dessert, our people, our passengers like all the dessert, but this is what we consume in daily basis. Basically, we are producing also an average of 120 cheesecake per day. Each cheesecake, you have to figure out that it's a 12 portion. This is 12 slice. So we serve about an average of 1,500 portion, 1,600 portion of cheesecake per day. We do also serve an average consumption per dinner about 700 love boat. You know the love boat, the dessert is always available. This is what also we are serving per day. As I said before, we produce everything on board from the scratch. The food is laid down on deck 3 and 4. From mid-ship toward the back of the ship we bring the food around the ship by elevator. As I said before, everything is produced on board from the scratch, except two things that the company are already buying, already made it: kosher food and baby food. Princess Cruises are not catering kosher cuisine and baby food. Everything else from the scratch. Your turn. What is this?
Oh, now it's working, look.
Oh, it's working now? No.
Yeah, it's working.
Oh, beautiful. Now, say something.
Now you can see the nice chocolate which we put in the beginning in. Some of you can see it, some maybe not. Now I fill this in. If you have a small glasses like this, then keep it at least for 2 hours in the fridge. So that's a dessert which you can prepare the day before or the same day in the morning for the evening when you have invited guests. And you don't need to run like a chicken in the evening without hat to find the mise en place and all this. So it's better to do this way. You keep it in the fridge. You can also keep it in the in the freezer if you take it longer or whatever. So very simple. Once the guests arrive, you take it out from the fridge and you put fresh cacao powder on top. The cacao powder without sugar inside, because we put already a lot of sugar inside. So
yeah, just recap: sugar, egg yolks, mascarpone cheese, whipping cream, Savoiardi biscuits or sponge cake, coffee and Kahlua liqueur, cocoa powder.
Now we can tell them the calories, not because they had already an Italian night.
A portion of tiramisu, 1,500 calories. Ladies and gentlemen, we just tell you now because you already had it at the Italian dinner, so no regrets, it's too late.
Okay. I put some chocolate sticks inside.
And bitter cocoa powder.
Bitter, yeah.
Cocoa powder need to be in contrast because the dessert that we just produced is very sweet, a lot of sugar. So it had to be something in contrast. Bitter cocoa powder. Hey, don't make a mess with Dolly Parton here.
No. Okay. And a little bit of fresh herbs from our garden.
Yeah,
voila.
mint.
A little bit of mint leaf. Voila. And that's the dessert when it's finished. Voila.
Yeah. All right.
Very simple.
You can see how easy it is in 30-40 minutes to cook the dessert or lunch when you have 264 people that prepare everything for you, correct?
Yeah.
No. I tell you, it's the only day that he does some things today.
Yeah. They let me work today, so.
By the way, are you interested to see the kitchen?
Yeah.
Forget it.
I had it.
You know, when you go into the kitchen, is it wet, is it slippery, is a little bit dangerous. You know, we wash the floor once a month and today is the day, so be very careful. This is absolutely not true.
No, that's not true.
I believe everybody knows, you know, this is an American company. Even though we are outside the country, America, we are subject to be inspected by public health. When we are in American water, by American water. But now even the Europeans are in their own public health. This ship started cruising March 2007, and we went through public health inspection 8 times. This.
Good morning, this is the bridge. You may be aware that you are currently having a minor power interruption. The ship's chief technical officer and his team is investigating the problem and are in the middle of rectifying it. As soon as he is fully confident that the issue has been fully resolved, he will advise me so we can resume all normal service. In the meantime, may I advise you to proceed with extreme caution around the ship, especially in areas where there is only limited lighting. I will of course update you regularly with progress and once power has been fully restored. May I take this opportunity to apologize for any inconvenience that technical problem may have caused you. Thank you.
Hello? Yes. And so back to our inspection of public health. We went through the public health inspection 8 times, and this is the ship that's having the highest score, in not only on this company, in all over the world. We've been went through 8 times, 6 times we scored 100%, and 2 times 99. And this is thanks to this gentleman, his team, and the group. Now, if you are interested to see the kitchen, I have my senior head waiter there, Francesco, the ends of the Princess Theatre. We will follow him. We will go down in Michelangelo. We will go through the Michelangelo dining room. We're going to see one of the 9 kitchens on board. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you. Bye-bye.